I know that you guys have a new album coming out, and the two songs that you just performed. Talk to me a little bit about the songwriting process for each of them.
Well, the song I played is off the new record. The new record's called The General Strike, and we wrote it over almost a 2-year period of us just, kind of taking the time to make sure that we made a record that we'd be proud of and that would be helpful to the history of the band. I mean, I think that we kind of got on a schedule of like putting out a record every year and touring and just running and almost not taking the time to make sure that the records were what we wanted them to be. And that's not to say that they're bad or anything like that. It's just to say that we became cognizant of the fact that we've been a band for a while, and that when you get to this stage of our life, that it's very important to make sure you're putting out something that you really believe in, because others are going to see that confidence and actually believe the things that you're saying. So that all being said, we came up with this idea of the General Strike, and whether it's looking at the Occupy movements or the Arab Spring and all the things that were happening in the political landscape of the world, and being inspired by that, and realizing that people can have their own personal general strikes. It doesn't necessarily need to be a workers' movement. It can be a humanist movement that you just do amongst yourself. So tying that into the song, we were kind of looking backwards for inspiration, and Joe Hill is who the song is 1915 is about, and it's more about his death than it actually is about his life. And he's just someone who is very inspiring to us, and is, we believe, responsible for things like the 40-hour work week and weekends and those kind of things. So these are things that, as we now get used to them and 80 years of having them or whatever, you kind of start to take them for granted. So reevaluating that focus was kind of what the song is about, and also what the record's about.
Cool. And then what about the your song?
I played a song called $1 Trillion, and it's from an older record. When the song was written, all of the countries around the world combined spent $1 trillion on military assets, and today that number is far exceeded. And just making the statement that humans seem to put a whole lot of time into militarism and killing one another, and growing rich off. Well, a very few number of those people grow very rich off of it, and that there's something wrong with all of those things. And in short, that's what the song's about.
And you wrote it a long time ago, right?
About 5 years ago.
5 years ago? And it's just gotten worse.
Yeah.
The world's just turned even more to shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
war's big business. You can make a lot of money on it. The more wars that are going on, the more money that can be made.
Yeah. What do you think about? I mean, you're a politically fueled band, so I have to ask, like, what do you think of the current political arena with the Republicans and
a clowny clown show going on right now?
Isn't it? It's just crazy, right?
Yeah. How can they think that that's helping anybody?
Well, we're from Pennsylvania, so we know Santorum far too well.
Okay.
And
Santorum's hate of the gay people. He's out to get every gay person in the world, it seems like.
He's a maniac. It's pretty. I mean, the guy said that rape victims should make the best of a bad situation. He's compared consensual. Well, he's compared homosexual marriage to men having sex with dogs. It just goes on and on. I've been very unhappy with Barack Obama. He's ramped up the war in Afghanistan. He's killed far more civilians than were killed previously with drone strikes. He has brought the crooks from Wall Street who ripped off this country and the world right into his administration. he signed the NDAA, which is totally absurd. It's like we live in some kind of Orwellian police state when you have a law signed by a president that says that citizens of this country can be indefinitely detained without charge. All of that said, I will give credit where credit's due. Obama certainly did some good things too. I think that his health care package, which again I'm not that happy with, I feel like in a lot of ways is a giveaway to the healthcare industry. And however, it's a first step. It's been good for some people. He's certainly done some things for working people that are decent. I say all of this because I was not going to vote for Barack Obama. And after the Republican primary started and I saw what a bunch of wackos they are, I might work for Barack Obama's campaign. And, it's realizing that elections do matter. And if you don't believe that, then remind yourself of the invasion of Iraq. And, that it goes on and on. People who say the elections don't matter. There's a million dead Iraqis right now. I think that they would beg to differ. Obama's not perfect. Far from it, but considering the alternative, I think he's a step in the right direction, and a very, very, very small step.
I do think we need to, though, say something about the fact that Dennis Kucinich, who's been a long-time leftist and activist, did get booted out of Congress, which I think is something that is interesting, that the country is moving a little bit away from those beliefs.
Yeah.
Well, there's gerrymandering, and it's just, Ohio is fucking backward state. If you're from Ohio, get your fucking shit together.
We got rid of Santorum. It took us a long time.
Well,
it took us a long time, but we got rid of him finally.
I'll tell you.
Now we brought him out. Now you all can have him.
Now everyone can enjoy him,
exactly.
right? Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
New album's out March 20th, right?
Yeah.
That was some deep conversation for first thing in the morning. I feel like farting or something to break the mood a little bit.